CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. An 18-year-old from Lloydminster has been arrested following a deadly shooting on the QE2. 2 Saturdays ago, 22-year-old Barinder Singh and his friends were driving from Edmonton to Banff in Singh's new car. They say a pickup truck passed them near Leduc and someone inside seemed to wave at them. Moments later, Singh was shot. Police have since arrested 18-year-old Jimmy Gassner and charged him with second-degree murder. 2 passengers in Singh's car say they did nothing to provoke the shooting. They're hiding their identities because of online backlash.
We didn't overtake them. It's not about road rage. We didn't honk at them. Nothing like that. They just come randomly and shot and they ran away.
It went through my headrest and go through his neck, and he died in my lap. I was like fully covered in his blood.
The victim had been in Canada for 3 years. His remains are en route back to his family in India. A Calgary man has been charged with child luring along with several related sexual offences involving 3 girls from Red Deer and Morinville. Malik Buccini Small is also a girls minor hockey coach and faces 21 charges. As CTV's Tyler Barrow reports, police think there may be more victims.
Alberta Law Enforcement Response Team's Internet Child Exploitation Unit has charged 23-year-old Malik Buccini Small with child luring, invitation to sexual touching, and extortion. The investigation began in November after 3 girls came forward.
We've conducted a complex investigation into the activities of an individual who has been identified as luring and sexually engaging with children online.
Police say 3 alleged victims from Morinville and Red Deer range in age from 7 to 15. The girls said they faced demands and threats for sexual content on social media applications. Police say multiple social media platforms and various usernames including Iggy Pop, Wakanda Forever, MJ, and 007 were used.
When you look at the challenges of everybody's usernames or their chat names, some of those that we've provided to you, it's difficult to discern from a glance as to who these people represent.
In one instance, the victim felt so threatened and in danger that she called 911 instead of going to her parents. The Canadian Centre for Child Protection says luring youth on social media platforms is not hard.
These are starting out on platforms like Instagram and Snapchat, and where their adults are really allowed to intersect with young people with no guardrails.
Since 2020, the centre has received nearly 14,500 sextortion reports. It is advocating for better regulation and guardrails to help protect youth.
The public is becoming aware that these individuals that are harming children online can come from any walk of life.
Police say Buccini Small was involved in youth sports when he was arrested. He was listed as a girls minor hockey coach on the U18 Calgary Raiders Hockey Club website, but his name has now been removed. Hockey Calgary did not respond to our request for a comment. It's unclear if athletes were targeted, but investigators say digital evidence points to other victims. Police are asking anyone who could have been targeted by one of these names to come forward. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
At least one current and one former Calgary City Councilor are being connected to a federal RCMP investigation. Police are tight-lipped on what that investigation concerns. CTV's Tyson Fedor reports.
As Ward 10 Councillor Andre Chabot left council chambers for lunch Tuesday, he was asked about why RCMP seized his work and personal cell phones.
I have no idea what the investigation's about. I had no idea why they had to do a warrant. I was more than happy to have given them my phones if they had just asked.
But instead of asking, Mounties showed up to his home executing a search warrant last Thursday. It's all part of an investigation being conducted by the RCMP's Federal Policing Northwest Region Department. But it's unclear what it's all about. One criminologist says the RCMP must have reasonable grounds that a criminal code infraction took place.
It can't be a fishing expedition, can't be suspicion. It has to be based on some kind of information that the police are going to be doing a search to confirm.
Chabot's lawyer says he does not know what the focus of the case is.
Until I see facts, there's nothing I'm going to say or can say. For anyone in politics, something like this is a concern, but there's, he's cooperating and he has nothing to hide.
Calgary Police will say it received a complaint in October of last year during the municipal election campaign and referred the file to RCMP, but Mounties did not answer questions about the probe or what the search warrant contained.
A search warrant can lead to nothing. A search warrant can lead to something. But a search warrant can also lead to the exoneration of the individual being searched.
Mayor Jeremy Farkas says he was only made aware of the investigation on Tuesday.
I've not been contacted by the police, and because this involves an ongoing investigation with potential legal implications, I have no further comment.
A Central Edmonton Community League is trying to recoup what it says is a significant amount of money. Evan Kenny has more on the situation and how the Federation is working to keep it from happening to other leagues.
The Inglewood Community League says it has suffered a number of financial losses over the last year and a half, and it is now in a precarious position. The Community League has not said how much money it lost, but it has hired a forensic auditor and hired legal counsel to recoup the funds. It also reported the loss to Edmonton Police. The Edmonton Federation of Community Leagues tells me Inglewood's treasurer stepped down in the fall when these issues were found, and the president and vice president stepped down within the last month. It is now working with the Community League on the next steps.
We will do a lot of learning. We have 163 community leagues across the city, and we want to make sure that nobody falls into this sort of situation again, that all the community league boards are really paying attention to the financials and understanding how to catch things before they get bad.
In a statement, the Community League says once the forensic audit is complete and we have a clearer understanding of the situation, we will provide members with a comprehensive and transparent accounting of all findings.
We're really concerned, and we want to make sure that they continue to thrive. That neighborhood continues to change and grow. We want to make sure that we can be alongside them, but other leagues as well.
The EFCL says it will continue to work with Inglewood throughout this process. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
The federal justice minister says he doesn't plan to change how judges are appointed. 4 premiers have now signed a letter asking for provinces to be more involved in the process. Since January, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith has been pushing for a say on future appointments to Alberta's Court of King's Bench, the Alberta Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court of Canada. Today, Smith posted a letter on the issue signed by herself, Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe, Ontario Premier Doug Ford, and Quebec Premier François Legault. The letter calls for provincial input on the appointments, saying we need to act toward lasting reforms that will serve to reinforce the confidence of all Canadians in our judiciary. Federal Justice Minister Sean Fraser says there is already a way for provinces to have a say in the process.
We welcome provincial government's participation in that process and proactively reach out after we receive recommendations to the judicial advisory committees to test with our provincial counterparts whether they've got information about the reputation of the people we're considering. I found that to be very informative. We've had a lot of positive feedback from a range of different, from every province, frankly, when it comes to the appointments that we have made.
Each province and territory has a judicial advisory committee made up of people within the legal profession and general public. A new coalition has emerged to fight one of the projects included in a memorandum of understanding between the Alberta and federal governments. The group is demanding a full independent impact assessment of the Pathways Alliance carbon capture project. Amanda Anderson reports.
All of us come from different backgrounds, but we share common concerns about this project.
This is the No CO2 Pipelines Alberta Coalition, a group of rural, Indigenous and farming communities brought together by a common goal.
Do I trust these oil and gas companies to protect my family and my water? No, I don't.
The group is opposed to the Pathways Alliance carbon capture project. It would be the world's largest, a 600-kilometer pipeline moving CO2 captured at Fort McMurray oil sands sites to a large storage facility in the Cold Lake region.
Having an area 3 times the size of PEI transformed into the world's largest industrial carbon dump, putting our water and communities at risk, is worth fighting for. And we will.
They released a map they say shows danger zones along the project route.
CO2 is odorless and heavier than air. It pools in low-lying areas, the same areas which are often set aside as pasture land.
Farmer Glenn Norman is worried about leaks in the CO2 pipeline.
With the pipeline, the risk is never if it leaks. It is when it leaks. They all do sooner or later.
The carbon capture project is one of 4 deals that must be agreed upon by April 1st as part of a memorandum of understanding signed between Alberta and the feds if construction of a bitumen pipeline to the west coast is to be considered. The coalition is demanding a comprehensive impact assessment of the carbon capture project before any approvals.
Or else we will launch legal actions against the federal government and the Alberta government for allowing this to happen when it shouldn't be.
The Premier's office says negotiations continue, that more work is needed on the Pathways project, but it's trying to meet the deadline for all or most of the 4 agreements in the MOU. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Legislative Assembly marked International Francophonie Day this morning in a public ceremony. Dancers and guest speakers joined officials from the provincial government and the opposition. They spoke of the history and the importance of the French-Canadian community in our province. The ceremony also marked the 100th anniversary of the Association Canadienne-Française de l'Alberta.
The Francophonie we know in Alberta today is vibrant and constantly evolving. It's a living memory carried forward by those who came before us. It is a language passed down with pride for over 270 years.
Alberta's celebration comes 4 days after the International Day of La Francophonie. Drivers downtown say it's taking a long time to get around, especially if you're traveling on 104th Ave. Connor Hawk has more on the drive time and the long light cycles.
The traffic is held up for 4 and 5 different lights, depending on the turning lanes and such, and it's just taking too long to get anywhere.
Even though rush hour is over, drivers along 104th Avenue say it's still taking a long time to get where they need to be.
It really has been a frustrating last year.
After hearing so much about how difficult it is to get around in this section of downtown, I decided to put that to the test to see how long it would take me to get from 121st Street to Rogers Place, using my trusty stopwatch to time it. Making a left turn onto 104 Ave, I hit my first red light at 118th Street, 1 minute and 12 seconds in. It takes 2 minutes for the light to change. The next red comes at 116th Street, and then another at 112. 4 minutes and 45 seconds into travel time.
Oh, are we stuck behind a track? Yeah, we're stuck behind a tractor.
After getting held up behind a bobcat, the 4th red switches at 109th Street.
This is actually taking quite an extended period of time.
After the 6th stop at 105th, I reached my left turn at 104th Street, getting to the end of the road. At the end of my 17-block journey from 121st Street to Rogers Place, it took just shy of 11 minutes, or 10 minutes and 49 seconds in total, to get where I wanted to go. The City of Edmonton says intersections between 105th Street and 121st Street are operated by Marigold Infrastructure Partners, the company building the Valley Line West LRT. The city says having optimal traffic flow during construction is difficult because of necessary lane and speed reductions.
The number of vehicles or the traffic that is going through, they would have to have the lights that long to allow it to clear. So yeah, you're between a rock and a hard place.
The city says permanent infrastructure that will optimize consecutive signals is coming soon. It hasn't been installed yet. And once that infrastructure is in place, detection loops and pedestrian triggers will reduce wait times for drivers. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up next, $250 million to kickstart employment in Alberta. And aging in place, not as easy as it was. Seniors set for retirement wrestling with rising housing costs.
What's happening here is essentially a domino effect. People are needing to pay more for food, for gas, for daily living.
Good evening, folks. Temperatures well below average again Wednesday and Thursday. Daytime highs in the -10 range and some more snow on the way. All those details in just a few minutes.
Owning a home may not guarantee financial security for seniors, according to a new study from the University of Calgary. Kevin Green reports.
For decades, homeownership has been seen as a key milestone to a stable retirement, but a new survey shows for a lot of older Albertans, that's not the case.
Over 1 in 3 Albertan older adults who own their own home outright indicated that they were worried about paying for financial upkeep. And about 1 in 6 even considered selling their own homes due to their financial need.
At Unison's Kirby Center CEO Larry Matheson says they see those pressures firsthand.
It's not uncommon for us to hear people are making
making decisions between buying the groceries they need and buying the medications they need.
At a seniors tax clinic just outside Matheson's door, Alberto De Maio is contemplating his finances and how much it takes to maintain the condo he owns.
I made it in order for me to be able to buy the place. But then afterwards, it's like a vehicle. If you don't do maintenance on it, the vehicle craps out very soon.
De Maio says the rising cost of everything required for home ownership forces him to cut back, and researchers say he's not alone.
What's happening here is essentially a domino effect. People are needing to pay more for food, for gas, for daily living.
The Canadian Taxpayers Federation maintains property taxes are a big burden and says the upcoming boost to the province's education property tax will make it worse.
Even for people who have paid off their homes, these double-digit property tax increases are unsustainable. A lot of folks are now worried about being able to afford just the property taxes alone.
The U of C researchers say living on a fixed income while prices rise is squeezing many seniors, even those who appear financially secure on paper. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
The province plans to spend $247 million this year to help Albertans find jobs. These two students are celebrating graduating from UCAN Youth Services by ringing the nonprofit's bell. The program helped them learn new skills to find jobs. UCAN Youth Services is one of the 160 organizations receiving provincial funding to help Albertans find work. The province says more than 400,000 Albertans accessed these services last year. The $247 million is included in the province's latest budget. RCMP are warning people of a phone scam after a 19-year-old from Airdrie was charged. Police say scammers are calling people and convincing them to upgrade their current device. Once the victim agrees, the transaction is done through their legitimate phone provider's online app. When the new phone arrives, the scammers call to say the wrong device was sent and must be returned. The address given is for a fake return facility. RCMP say do not sign contracts if a company reaches out. Instead, call them back on a confirmed number. Agricultural land prices in Canada climbed further last year, with Alberta seeing the second highest gain. That's according to a new report by Farm Credit Canada. The value of Canadian farmland rose by an average 9.3% last year. That increase was on par with 2024, but less than the 11.5% jump in 2023. Prairie provinces saw the biggest bumps last year. Alberta saw an 11.4% gain. Manitoba led the way with a 12.2% jump. British Columbia, the only one to see a decrease, they dropped nearly 2%. Several rural RCMP detachments across Alberta are getting new officers. 21 new recruits graduated from the cadet training program at the RCMP depot in Regina yesterday. They'll be stationed in smaller communities, including Drayton Valley, Vegreville, Stettler, and High Prairie. RCMP say over the past 2 years it received more than 5,700 applications. The Calgary Stampede is launching a new event celebrating Indigenous sport and culture. The inaugural First Nations Rodeo and Relay will take over GMC Stadium June 13th. It will feature top athletes from across Canada and the U.S. It's created in partnership with the Indian National Finals Rodeo. The event includes rodeo competitions, relay races, cultural performances, and a First Nations marketplace. Tickets go on sale Monday. Stay with us. Still ahead, NASA's new mission to the moon.
The moon base will not appear overnight. We will invest approximately $20 billion over the next 7 years and build it through dozens of missions, working together with commercial and international partners towards a deliberate and achievable plan.
Coming up Wednesday on Your Morning, how to help your neighbors in an emergency. Spring road issues that go deeper than potholes, and a surprise party with Katie from Super Simple Songs.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. -5 for the official daytime high today, although that came in early this morning. Most of this afternoon, we were -10, -11 range, way below the average high of 3. In fact, most of the next 7 to 10 days, temperatures will be colder than average. The coldest days will be Wednesday, Thursday, though. There's your cold warning for areas north of Fort McMurray. Wind chill approaching -40. Here's your snowfall warning. Not everybody in this red zone. will get over 20 centimeters, but there'll be some spots that see some really significant snowfall amounts, especially in these darker blue zones. I think in general, most areas are probably going to see 10 to 20, could see 20 plus in a couple of spots there. By tomorrow morning, about 4 or 5 centimeters on the ground in Edmonton, and we'll pick up another centimeter or two off and on through the day tomorrow. It's not going to be heavy, steady snow, I don't think. Most of the heaviest of the snowfall through the overnight period and into tomorrow morning is going to be north of Edmonton. But if you take a look at tomorrow morning, around the morning commute, there is at least the chance of some snow rolling through the area. Probably still a little gusty at that point as well. So blowing snow could be a problem for the morning commute. We'll see a few more pockets of flurries or light snow through the afternoon hours. And then by about supper time, that's all off to the east of the Edmonton region. So it'll be a reverse of what we had today. Today, the drive in was better than the drive home. Tomorrow, the drive home will be better than the drive in weather-wise. 8 a.m. on Thursday. Snow from Red Deer off to the south. Here in Edmonton, though, that snow misses us and stays south of the city. So just mostly cloudy skies on Thursday. The bulk of the snow is done by late Wednesday afternoon. Minus 19, Fort McMurray. Minus 20 in Grande Prairie tomorrow morning. Should be in the minus 12 range in Edmonton. We'll get back to the mid-minus teens in through the Peace Country and Fort McMurray. Closer to minus 10 for Cold Lake, Edson, Whitecourt areas. About minus 8 in Red Deer. Here in Edmonton, temperatures around minus 9 for daytime highs Wednesday and Thursday. Those occasional periods of light snow. And after a gusty start to the day, calmer conditions for the afternoon. Mostly cloudy Thursday. A little sunshine breaking through the clouds on Friday. And daytime highs get back to around 0 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But you can see at the bottom of the screen there, the average high for this time of year is plus 4. So, yes, back to around 0 is warmer than the next 2 days, but still below average. In fact, there's only one day, Wednesday of next week, with temperatures around average. The rest of the next 10 on the cool side. That is your forecast.
NASA says it plans to build a multi-billion-dollar base on the surface of the moon.
The moon base will not appear overnight. We will invest approximately $20 billion over the next 7 years and build it through dozens of missions, working together with commercial and international partners towards a deliberate and achievable plan.
NASA had originally planned to create a space station which would orbit the moon. The new plan is to build a moon base that will support sustained operations on the surface. In just over a week, the Artemis 2 mission is hoping to launch a rocket that will fly around the moon with Canada's Jeremy Hansen on board. Culinary students are learning from one of their own. The new Chef in Residence is an award-winning alumni with a restaurant and a reality competition under his belt. Miriam Valdez-Carletti has more.
It's been 15 years since chef Alex Kim worked inside this kitchen as a culinary student at NAIT.
I wanted to be back, and I never thought of, wearing this jacket again, but, I'm feeling really honored.
Kim is a well-decorated chef, a Top Chef Canada finalist, and culinary director of Vancouver's Five Sales restaurant. He's now sharing his skills, like attention to detail.
A lot of his plating, it was very simple and clean, but like high-level execution.
So really that's what sets apart, a really good student from one that, that may not have higher aspirations.
The culinary world can be tough on those looking to sustain a career.
The sad reality of cooking, we'll find a lot of our students 5 years from now are not in industry. You're working on holidays, you're working on weekends, you're some late nights. That can be hard.
Some chefs, they overwork themselves and they tend to be kind of harsh on themselves. Working, extremely long hours, long standing.
That burnout is why one student is looking for a different type of culinary career. Diallo Campos is interested in food research and development.
That's something that a lot of people don't think about. That's really important. So I don't know, when you go to Starbucks and you get a breakfast sandwich, some chef had to develop that and they created those flavors.
Like any flavor combination, there are lots of possibilities beyond traditional fine dining.
I like the idea of box mixes. I think those are cool. Like how there's KD mac and cheese. I definitely think there's a way you can make it better.
Kim says post-pandemic, the culinary world has lost a lot of talent, but some students are optimistic about filling that gap.
I am worried, but at the same time, I'm willing to face it head on. Because a challenge is a challenge. You face it, and then you conquer it.
Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that is our show for this evening. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us. I'm Jeff Hastings.